The most useful fall colors are not always the loudest ones on the runway. They are the colors that can make the clothes you already own feel intentional again. And this fall, 6 shades are doing that job. But 3 of them work as anchors and 3 work as interruptions. If you know which is which, you do not need a new wardrobe, you need one intelligent color decision. Here is the whole map. Plum, rust, and moss are the anchors. They can replace a familiar neutral without making an outfit feel theatrical. Scarlet, Cobalt, and butter yellow are the interruptions. They wake up brown, navy, charcoal, denim, and cream. The first decision is not which color is fashionable. It is, does my wardrobe need more depth or more energy? Think of this as the depth or energy test. If it needs depth, begin with an anchor. If it feels competent but invisible, begin with an interruption. That distinction will save you from buying the right trend in the wrong role. First Plum, burgundy has been building for several seasons. What has changed is not the name, it is the temperature. Less red underneath it now, more purple. A warm plum reads festive. A cooled plum reads like a neutral, and only the cooled one does an anchor's work. Michael Kors keeps it near wine. Stella McCartney takes it further. A separate directional color analysis also identifies prune as a sharply rising signal. The exact number matters less than the repetition across designers. Why is plum useful? Because it has the authority of black and the richness of brown, but it is less expected than either. It is especially good when an all-neutral wardrobe feels polished yet somehow flat. The easiest entry is one medium-sized plum element, a knit, a loafer, a bag, or a scarf, not all 4. With charcoal, plum reads modern and restrained. With navy, it feels quiet and expensive. With chocolate brown, it becomes warmer and more sensual. With pale pink, it softens without becoming sweet. If plum near your face makes your skin look gray, do not conclude that the color is not for you. Move it lower in the outfit. Use it in trousers, a skirt, a shoe, or a bag, and keep your best cream, soft white or blue, close to your face. A trend does not need to pass a moral test. It only needs to earn its place. And if you already own burgundy that you love, there is no reason to replace it with a more purple version. The point is not to collect increasingly precise names for the same family. The point is to notice that the family has cooled. Then decide whether that change helps you. Second, Scarlet, the clear energetic end of the red family. Red already appeared in my broader Fall 2026 trend report. I am keeping it here because the useful question is no longer whether red is present, but which red, in what dose, and against which base. This is the clear, alive red we saw at Celine and Tory Burch. It is also one of the strongest cross-source signals in the external trend coverage. Scarlet is not an anchor. It is an interruption. That matters because a red coat and a red sock are not simply 2 quantities of the same idea. They create completely different relationships. If you enjoy presents, let Scarlet occupy 30 to 60% of the look. A knit under a charcoal suit, a coat over cream, or a dress with deep brown accessories. If you want the currentness without the volume, let it occupy 5 to 15%. A flat shoe, a slim belt, a scarf, a bag, even a visible sock under a loafer. The sophisticated pair is Scarlet with charcoal, because gray removes the obvious holiday feeling. Scarlet with chocolate brown is warmer and more autumnal. Scarlet with pale blue is sharper and slightly unexpected. Scarlet with navy is classic, but to keep it from feeling generic, vary the texture. Brushed wool, polished leather, crisp cotton. The mistake is usually not the red itself. It is equal competition. When two strong colors divide the outfit in half, the eye does not know where to rest. Let one color lead and the other punctuate it. That simple hierarchy is what turns colorful into composed. Third, rust and its deeper cousin, mahogany. This is where the signal becomes especially convincing. Rust repeats through Max Mara and Gabriela Hearst, then appears again in current retail imagery. That runway to retail repetition makes it more useful than a one-show novelty. Rust is the color for someone who likes brown but wants the outfit to register. It still belongs to the earth tone family, but the red and orange underneath give it more life. The obvious route is rust with cream, camel, or denim. The more current route is rust with pale blue. The temperature contrast keeps both colors visible. The blue clears the heaviness from rust, while rust gives pale blue enough gravity for fall. If warm rust turns sallow near your face, move toward mahogany, a deeper, redder version, or keep the rust in leather, a belt, boot, bag, or jacket worn open over your best neckline color. Texture helps here. Suede, brushed wool, and matte leather make rust look dimensional. A thin synthetic fabric can make it look flatter and more costume-like. Notice how little has to change. A dark brown trouser, cream top, and brown shoe are already a complete outfit. Replace one brown piece with rust and the wardrobe suddenly acknowledges the season. That is the kind of trend adoption I trust. One change, clear effect. Fourth, moss. The runways offer several greens, from deep forest at Balenciaga to more yellowed olive at Hermes. The version with the greatest wardrobe value sits between olive and forest, muted enough to act as a neutral, alive enough to change the mood. Moss is exceptionally good with the neutrals many women already own. With navy, it looks grounded. With chocolate, it becomes tonal and luxurious. With cream, it feels fresh. With black, it needs a little relief. Skin, soft white, a reflective accessory, so the whole outfit does not become visually dense. If you have hazel green or warm brown eyes, moss often sits well near the face, but eye color is not a rule. Test the shade in daylight. Does your skin look clearer? Do your eyes arrive before the garment? If yes, keep it close. If the garment arrives first, move it to the lower half or choose a darker forest. Moss also gives you one of the best combinations of the season, moss with butter yellow. The green provides depth. The yellow gives lift. Keep the yellow smaller unless you want a deliberately high color look. And this is the halfway principle. You can build a current fall palette almost entirely from the first four colors. Plum, Scarlet, Rust, and Moss already cover cool depth, energy, warm depth, and muted earth. The next two are for wardrobes that need light and voltage. Every one of these six sits on a base, and for most of you, that base is navy. I made a free one-page chart with 12 pairings and 4 easy outfit formulas. Use the first link below. After you confirm your email, I'll send it straight to you. Members, the updated version is already in your library. There's no need to sign up again. Now let's turn up the saturation with Cobalt. Fifth, Cobalt. Often landing somewhere between Cobalt and Royal Blue. Victoria Beckham uses it in a clean coat, while Stella McCartney pairs saturated blue with red and violet. The external trend coverage calls out electric blue as one of the major fall signals, but its wardrobe value is more important than the label. Blue is already trusted. The surprise is the saturation. This makes Cobalt the lowest risk way to add strong color if you normally live in denim, navy, charcoal, or black. Cobalt with chocolate brown is the standout combination. Brown softens the sportiness that strong blue can sometimes have. Blue makes brown feel deliberate rather than safe. With charcoal, cobalt looks architectural. With burgundy or plum, it becomes richer and more editorial. With cream, it is clean and direct. The danger is office uniform blue, a basic cobalt knit with basic black trousers and no texture or proportion decision. The fix is not another color. The fix is one material contrast or one shape contrast. Glossy blue leather against matte wool, an oversized blue shirt with a narrow trouser, or a fine cobalt knit under a substantial brown jacket. If cobalt overwhelms you, keep the relationship and lower the intensity. Icy blue with chocolate brown carries the same cool, warm intelligence at a quieter volume. You are not failing the trend, you are translating it. Sixth, butter yellow. Yellow appears repeatedly in the material. What makes butter yellow interesting for fall is that it interrupts the usual march toward increasingly dark clothes. This is not highlighter yellow. Think softened cream with a measured amount of pigment. It gives warmth and light without behaving like a neon. The simplest combination is butter yellow with charcoal. The gray gives the yellow seriousness. The yellow keeps gray from looking bureaucratic. Butter yellow with chocolate is softer and richer. With moss it feels very fall. With plum it is more fashion forward because the colors sit in strong contrast. The common mistake is putting a very pale yellow directly beside a cream that is almost but not quite the same depth. The result can look accidental. Either separate them more clearly, deep chocolate with butter yellow, or create an intentional tonal ladder, cream, oatmeal, and yellow, with at least one darker grounding piece. Choose the dose according to your appetite. A yellow earring or scarf adds light. A knit makes the color part of the outfit. A coat makes it the message. None is more correct. The question is how much attention you want the color to carry. If yellow near the face makes you look tired, try a slightly deeper mustard, choose a cooler lemon cream, or move the color away from the face. Your mirror has more authority than a trend report. So before you buy anything, audit the wardrobe in front of you. First, identify your dominant base. Is it black, charcoal, navy, chocolate, camel, denim, or cream? Second, decide what is missing. If your outfits lack depth, test plum, rust, or moss. If they lack energy, test scarlet, cobalt, or butter yellow. Third, use the relationship first test. Build one relationship before buying one object. Do not ask, "Do I like this red bag?" Ask, "Can this red bag complete 3 outfits I actually wear?" Name them: charcoal suit, chocolate knit and denim, navy coat with cream trousers. If you cannot name the relationship, the object is still only a possibility. Fourth, use the 3 outfit test. Make 3 complete outfits with the color. 1 easy, 1 slightly unexpected, and 1 for your real weekly life. Photograph them. The camera will show you hierarchy and proportion more clearly than a crowded mirror. Fifth, shop the gap, not the trend. If a plum knit solves 3 outfits, that is a useful purchase. If a cobalt coat is spectacular but solves none, admire it and leave it. Discernment is not deprivation, it is authorship. That is the real shift. Current does not mean that every garment is new. Current means that the relationships look deliberate. A familiar neutral, one seasonal signal, and a hierarchy the eye can understand. You may notice that brown and charcoal are not on my list. That is deliberate. Gray already had its own chapter in the broader trend report, and it has not disappeared. Here, charcoal works better as the recurring base, cooling camel, sharpening scarlet, and grounding butter yellow than as a seventh headline. Their job is to make the 6 colors usable. And yes, the wider trend conversation also includes juicy peach and turquoise. They are real runway signals. I have not put them in the core 6 because the evidence repeats more consistently and creates more practical wardrobe relationships for plum, red, rust, green, blue, and yellow. A useful edit is allowed to exclude good ideas. Otherwise, it is not an edit. If your wardrobe needs depth, begin with plum, rust, or moss. If it needs energy, begin with scarlet, cobalt, or butter yellow. Choose one, give it a clear job, and test it with what you already own. And if color is not the problem, but your outfit still feels slightly off, watch the video on the screen now. It will show you the proportion decisions that make simple clothes look intentional. I will see you there.